Hello everyone. So I wanted to show you my attempt at some impromptu shade cloth for my plants because it's super hot today and the sun's beating down on the plants, and some of them can take it and some of them can't. And the melons, which normally like it, really sunny, they're doing okay. They have a little bit of droop to them, but for the most part, they're okay. And so I'm not too worried about them. The tomatoes are doing okay too. They're in the back row over there. But my pepper plants, which I always thought were supposed to love the heat and the sun, they don't. And so they've been drooping almost every day when it was really hot and sunny. And I pretty much just let them go, but I don't know, today I was just worried about them because they were really looking bad. And so I had this old burlap. It was just a long piece that I had covering the ground where I had some grass seed growing. And so I just threw these extra pieces of pole in the front of the bed and draped my burlap over the post, over these stakes that I was using for the pepper plants. And so you can see in there that they do have quite a bit of shade. That's the difference. That's what they would be exposed to, and that's what the burlap is doing for them. It's probably like a 50% shade cloth, this burlap is. And so hopefully that will do the trick. They all have water, by the way, of course. You know, I checked that first thing, and they all have plenty of water. And every time they do this to me, I check them for water, and they always have plenty of water. And so this isn't pretty, and it's not my ideal. I would rather have like really tall stakes in the four corners. I may end up doing that so that I can put, I don't know, something. I mean, I've got these cages here in the way, plus the spider wire that I showed you guys in the one video about my tomato bed setup. So it's not very practical for me to put a shade cloth over the whole bed. And so I'm just pretty much working with what I have. And so that's what I'm doing for the peppers. And you can see that the tomatoes are doing fine in the sun. And by using the burlap on the front of the beds, I'm not shading out the tomatoes. So hopefully they'll be okay. They're not wilting or anything like the peppers were, and like the cucumbers. The cucumbers do not like a lot of sun. And if I had a shadier spot for my cucumber bed, it would be there. Because this is just, they hate it. I mean, I thought that cucumbers liked sun, and normally I think they do, but they do appreciate some shade, but it's not even 12. And these guys looked so bad that I just was afraid for them, literally, because it's just so hot, and they have plenty of water. I just watered them. And so this is insect netting. This is like a gauzy type of material, and it does not provide as much shade as the burlap, but the burlap's really heavy. And I did not want to weigh down the plants, because if I would have put burlap over the top of my trellis here, it probably would have weighed down on the cucumber plants too much. And they're still pretty wilting. I just put this on about a half an hour ago, and they're still droopy and everything, but I'm hoping that it's better than nothing. I mean, that's what it is without the shade cloth, or without the insect netting, and that's what it is with the insect netting. I'm not sure if you can tell the difference. You should be able to. It does provide some shade. I mean, it's meant for insect netting, but that's not really why I'm using it right now, and hopefully I'm not trapping any insects in there. But this, it comes on huge rolls, and I already had this one piece cut for something else that I had used it for last year, and so it works really well to just go right over the top of my A-frame trellis here, and it covers both sides, and it's not too heavy, and hopefully it'll be enough to shade them from this hottest part of the day, because here pretty soon, you know, the sun will go up higher and that tree right there will shade these guys, and so I can take it off then. But for right now, this is what I'm going to have to do, and I don't know, I imagine I might have to do it every day now, because it's just, we're not responding well to this really bad heat that we've had, and it just seems like the sun is stronger or something. I'm not sure if it has to do with the sunspots or what, but it's just so strong out here, and half the time it's really hazy, and so they're not enjoying it at all. And like I said, it doesn't look good, especially that burlap, but because I have the spider wire in place and everything else, I really can't do much more than that. And like I said, it's a mixed bed. It's got all those tomatoes back there who do like the sun and who do need the sun. So I don't know. I just do my best and hope that they do okay. I don't know what else to do. But you can use shade cloth, you can use burlap, you can use screen, insect netting, whatever you have. So if you're in a place that's even hotter than where I am, which there's a lot of them like that, you know. I'm not even in a really, really hot region, so I can't imagine doing this in Arizona or whatever. You would almost certainly have to set it up to where you could shade your plants during the day, because this is, you know, we're in the Midwest here, and it doesn't get near as hot and intense as it does in the Southwest and in the South. So I would definitely recommend setting it up to where you can put shade covering over your sensitive plants during the worst part of the day. And even if it's just something as ghetto as this, you know, if it's just for a few hours a day, you know, nobody's really going to care unless you're in Better Homes and Gardens or whatever. Looks like I have a lot of pollinators around today, though. Hopefully they're doing their job. And hopefully all this shade cloth stays on. Thankfully it's not too windy. If it was really, really windy, then I would have to probably anchor it down in some other way. But it's not too bad right now. And I did have to shade some of the individual pepper plants over here. I've got a lot of peppers in containers, and so I just did an impromptu. I've got 3 peppers under there. Hopefully that won't fly off. And then these over here in the containers, they have support structures, so I was just able to clip the insect netting to the actual containers. This one is not my favorite setup, but I only have this one pole here to attach to, and so I just draped it over the pole and put a clamp on it, and then I clothespined it to the thing because the wind was blowing it up. So all along the edges in 2 places I put the clothespin, and then just draped it over the top, and I put a clothespin there. It looks like I'm going to need to put another one here. But you know, the ground cherries, they look good. They're not minding the sun. My tomato is okay. The pepper plants and those are kind of okay, but I don't have any kind of support structure to throw insect netting over those. And since they're not wilting really bad, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, guys. Take care. Stay cool.